Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. That is Jack. I am Conrad, and this is the 45. We are talking Premier League Survival Guide. Newly promoted clubs. Up next, West Brom. The Baggies are back. 2-year stint in the Championship. West Brom and manager Slaven Bilic are back in the Premier League, finishing second in the league. A good haul of goals. A little shaky on those goals against.
Yeah. Overall, I think a lot of the styles that you look at West Brom, they're very balanced in a lot of regards. Not as overtly a pressing side like Leeds are, but overall, I think Bilic has done a very good job in his first season to obviously get them up back into the Premier League, which after the coronavirus pandemic kind of really threw a lot of teams off. They were really needing to get promoted financially, and I think it's shown in their transfers. They haven't really been able to spend on filling new holes, rather just bringing back the crew for a new season. So I think still a very good defensive overall performance, third best defense, but compared to Leeds, a bit more shaky. But I think I'm very excited to see how they perform this season. A lot of young talent, a lot of exciting talent over there at West Brom.
Yeah, I mean, tied for second in terms of goal scoring. Again, balance, I think, is their key. You know, they're not going to sit back and try to absorb pressure in the Premier League, which is good. We'll touch on tactics here in a little bit when we talk about Bilic, but look at their transfers. You mentioned it. They're not going out and getting net new talent. They're bringing guys back in that they had loaned out and are bringing them in on permanent deals now because they proved themselves. They understand the system. They understand how to play with one another. I think it's a really smart way to go about it.
I agree. I think that bringing these guys back not only helps you with having good future assets in the future, which is important for a club that have a bit shaky finances, an owner who was a bit reluctant to invest money in the club like they have to deal with. So having guys like Grady Diangana, I think he's a very, very good signing, especially at that price point. 22 was very good in the 30 appearances he had last season for West Brom. And I think everyone, almost all parties, were surprised at the fact that they were able to get him. I think West Ham needed to sell him in order to have assets to spend in their own transfer market. And that was shown by a tweet from Mark Noble. He was very upset. He's the West Ham captain. He was very upset that they had sold him, was angry with the owners. There's a whole load of issues we could talk about at the other West club. But I think that's a very good signing on that left wing. He's going to be a guy you can bring back, have some consistency going into the next season.
Same thing goes for Pereira. I mean, 8 goals and 16 assists in the league last campaign, the championship last campaign. Those are
crazy numbers, honestly. And having those two guys, 22 and 24, and combined looking at around 26 to 30 million pounds, that's quite good value for guys who could probably go for double for that if they have a good season, even if you get relegated. So it's having long-term assurance as well as guys who performed for you. Now, can they make that step up is a little questionable. Pereira in specific has played in the Bundesliga. He's played in Liga NOS, so he's got experience in top-level divisions.
Looking ahead at the first 3 matches that they've got, this is a tough way to start. They got Leicester, Everton, and Chelsea. So they could be coming out with 0 points off those first 3 matches. And it's going to be tough because you're talking about Pereira. He did well last year. He really needs to get off to a good start to get some confidence and move forward. In addition, if they can bring in somebody like a Troy Deeney alongside Diangana and Pereira, you know, that would certainly help. But the matches after that, Southampton, Burnley, Brighton, Fulham. You've got to feast on those 4.
Yeah, obviously that front 3 matches are very tough. You have 2 teams finished in the top 5 in Leicester and Chelsea, and then Everton, who have made a lot of improvements in their midfield, especially in the last couple of days. So it's going to be difficult first 3 matches, but I think that maybe they might accept that it's going to be tough from the beginning, considering that the transfer window extends to the beginning of October. They can maybe say, the first few matches may be a little tough while we finish off our transfers, but then when we get to a bit of a lighter schedule, maybe we can begin to get the squad into full cohesion. I don't know if I'd be particularly too worried, but it's going to be a big deal. Aston Villa, another side who's going to be there and about. Huge rivals between them two.
Next up, just Slaven Bilic. You know, again, we talk about it, very balanced, very methodical, not doing anything out of the ordinary, no high pressing. You know, they're also not just going to try to sit back and absorb.
And 19 different goal scorers last campaign. I think it speaks to the fact that they were not relying on individual stardom. They have Charlie Austin and Hal Robson-Kanu, who are the only players in double digits for them. And so it's going to be interesting to see, can those guys continue it into the Premier League? Their only real striker with Premier League experience is Charlie Austin. I think he possibly could do it for them. But the big issue is they have some veteran leadership, but that veteran leadership has been kind of hit or miss in the last couple of years. So they're going to need a bit of luck from their youngsters performing and popping up well at the beginning of the campaign, and their veterans being able to be fit and informed as well for the next season. But I think that it's going to be interesting to see where West Brom end up doing. I think that if they finish fourth bottom, they're ecstatic. I think their main goal is survival this season, get the finances sorted, and then begin to move upwards as you go on from here on out.
Agreed. Well, that'll do it for us for the Premier League Survival Guide edition for West Bromwich Albion. Jack, Conrad, this has been the Footy 5. Please like, subscribe, give us comments, tell us what you think. Look for us on the Twitter at the Footy 5. Take care now.